Well, we only have 3 games remaining in the district season, and we finally get some clarity when it comes to the top 3 seeds in the tournament. Also, another shakeup at the top spot. All that and more in this week's episode of the podcast, starting with the first game on Wednesday, which was Lincoln Trail at Kaskaskia. And the Statesmen tried so hard to pull out their first win in district play. They were unable to, although this game was tied at the half at 43, but the Blue Devils of Kaskaskia were able to pull out in the second half, winning 97-86. As a team, the Blue Devils were 59.7% from the floor compared to the Statesmen 49.3%. So both teams were really feeling it from the floor. 3-point wise, Kaskaskia netted 4 of their 15 attempts from behind the arc compared to Lincoln Trail's 6 of 17. So both teams shooting it okay, not terrible, but not great either from behind the arc. The free throws is where this game really gets out of hand for the Statesmen. The Blue Devils went to the stripe 22 times, making 19 of them, while Lincoln Trail went to the stripe 11 times, only making 6 of them. Free throw percentage-wise, Lincoln Trail was 54.5 compared to Kaskaskia's 86.4. The 2 big keys that I always look for is the rebounding battle and the turnover battle. As I've said the last couple of weeks, Kaskaskia won the rebounding battle 42-22, but the Statesmen were able to win the turnover battle 12-18. Let's go ahead and look at some independent scores here. First, for the Statesmen, it was not Caden Huntlocker, although he did have 18 points, but Sam Amorgi shooting 8 of 12, 3 of 3 from the stripe, having 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals, finishing with 19 points. He did have 4 fouls as well. Huntlocker, he also battled some foul trouble, finishing with 4 fouls, finishing with 18 points, had 1 block, 3 steals, 2 assists, and was 7 of 18 from the field, 4 of 9 from behind the arc. The other Statesman double figure was Devin Bell. He was 5 of 11 from the field, 2 of 3 from behind the arc, had 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. He only committed 1 foul. He finished with 12 points. Kaskaskia, on the other hand, they were led by Caleb Jenkins, 9 of 17 from the field, 3 of 7 from behind the arc, 6 of 8 from the stripe, having 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks, and 5 turnovers. He finished with 27 points. Will Vassar had 7 of 12, 4 of 4 from the stripe, grabbed 5 rebounds, dished out 3 assists, and had 4 turnovers. He finished with 18 points. The final Blue Devil in double figures as a starter was Kobe Wilmoth. He was 5 of 10 from the field, 1 of 5 from behind the arc, had 5 rebounds, 1 blocked shot, and finished with 11 points. Eric Price, surprisingly, came off the bench for Kaskaskia and Coach Hancock. He was 5 of 6 from the field, having 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and having 2 turnovers. He finished with 10 points. And again, it was the free throw differential that really was the difference here in this ballgame. That compounded with the rebounding differential, with Kaskaskia out-rebounding Lincoln Trail by 20. That's how we get to the 97-86. The Blue Devils scored 54 points in the second half compared to Kaskaskia's, or compared to Lincoln Trail's 43. So again, Statesmen still looking for that first win in district play, and they didn't face a district opponent on Saturday. So going into the last full week of district play, they are still looking for their first win. And the second game on Wednesday, and this was a shocker to me, were the Lakeland Lakers against the Wabash Valley Warriors. Lakeland pulls out the upset, winning 88-78. And really, they had controls in the first half. They outscored the Warriors 46-30. Warriors were able to cut the deficit a little bit in the second half, winning the half 48-42. But like I said, it wasn't enough as the Lakers win this ball game. And let's just look into how they did it. They really shot the ball well in the first half. Overall, they made 30 of 66 field goals compared to Wabash Valley's 27 of 65. Both teams jacked up the 3-ball. Lakeland making 8 of 18 compared to Wabash Valley's 9 of 28. Percentage-wise, that's 44.4% for the Lakers, 32.1% for the Warriors. Free throw shooting was pretty even. Both of them shot the free throw 25 times. Lakeland making 20 of 25 compared to Wabash Valley's 15 of 25. And again, rebounding battle, turnover battle. Let's go ahead and look at that. The rebounding battle was won by the Lakers 37-31. So it was really close in the rebounding battle. It was close in the turnover battle as well, but the Lakers again edge out the Warriors, winning the turnover battle 14-16. What does that really mean in terms of scoring-wise? Well, for the visiting Lakers, they were led by Tyler Chapman, who was 7 of 12 from the field, 3 of 5 from behind the arc, 8 of 9 from the foul line. He had 8 assists to go along with 7 rebounds, had 2 blocked shots, had a steal, and had 4 turnovers. He finished with the game-high 25 points. Johnny Jones was in double figures. He did not shoot as well as Chapman. He was 4 of 11 from the field, 3 of 8 from behind the arc. Had 3 assists to go along with 2 rebounds and 1 steal. He finished with 14. Salah Alanawi was 6 of 13 from the field. Had 4 offensive rebounds. 6 rebounds overall. 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block to go along with 2 turnovers. He did foul out in this ballgame. He finished with 12 points. Bryson Bond was the final Laker in double figures with 10. He was 4 of 9 shooting from the field. Had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. Again, finishing with 10 points. For the Wabash Valley Warriors, it was the Kaleem Taylor show. 12 of 18 from the field, 2 of 3 from behind the arc, and had 7 rebounds to go along with 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block shot. He finished with an overall high 30 points. Brandon Razor Moore, he was not the Brandon Razor Moore of when he is at home. He did get in double figures with 14, but he had to get 15 shots to get there. Was 5 of 15, 2 of 10 from behind the arc, 2 of 2 from the foul stripe. Had 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Did not commit a foul, which I think that's incorrect. Yeah, they had NJCAA.org has no fouls for Wabash Valley, so that's incorrect foul-wise. But Brandon Razor Moore had 14 points, and finally, the only other Warrior in double figures was Mujad Burton. He was 3 of 9 from the field, 2 of 4 from behind the arc, grabbed 4 rebounds to go along with 2 steals. He finished with 11 points. Players that didn't get into double figures but were awfully close for the Warriors were Gabe Bird. He was 2 of 3 from the field, 3 of 3 from the foul stripe, 2 of 2 from behind the arc, had 9 points. Also, the starter that was close to double figures was Andron Sprinkles. He was 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from behind the arc, 2 of 2 from the foul line, had 2 assists to go along with 2 turnovers. And Samuel Hincapie was the lone Laker that was close but not quite in double figures. He was 2 of 7 from the field, 5 of 6 from the foul line, had 6 defensive rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal to go along with 2 blocked shots, and he was a menace for the Lakers against the Warriors. Again, they were able to get a big-time upset win, and it really showed as Wabash Valley struggled in the first half to really find their footing, and this was their first loss in the Spencer Sports Arena for the Warriors of the year. So congratulations, Lakeland. And the third game of the Wednesday slate had a bunch of fireworks as Vincennes hosted Southwestern Illinois, and I said Vincennes really had to bounce back from this game, and boy, did they. They bounced back so much that I didn't think this game was going to be as much of a blowout as it won. Vincennes wins this game 88-57. The reason I said there was fireworks in this game is because Coach Franklin got ejected in this ballgame. He claims that in his second technical foul that he was trying to get LeBron Thomas's attention and was telling LeBron Thomas, good job, when LeBron tried to drive down the court or drove down the court and attempted a layup, getting fouled on the way. He claimed that he was trying to do that all year round in his post-game interview with Dave Hunter. Team stat-wise, it was, again, the Vincennes show. They were 30 of 70 field goals attempted, and they were 11 of 32 from behind the arc. SWIC was 18 of 53 and 3 of 16 from behind the arc. Free throws, even with those 2 technical fouls, it really didn't hurt Vincennes in that department, as SWIC was 18 of 25 compared to Vincennes' 17 of 24. So both teams shot the free throws at a 70% clip. Again, the 2 biggest things were the rebounding battle and the turnover battle. Vincennes dominated the rebounding battle 52-27. They even win the assist battle 21-11. But the big one here is they won the turnover battle. They only turned the ball over 12 times compared to Southwestern's 13 times. What does this mean individually? Well, SWIC was led by Saxon Hopker, who was 5 of 13 from the field. Made 1 free throw. Had 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal to go along with 11 points. He was the leading scorer for all SWIC players. Bennett Bryles was 3 of 6 from the field, 4 of 6 from the foul stripe, had 1 rebound, 1 steal, 1 assist, finished with 10 points. Nazir Leonard was close in getting in double figures. He was 3 of 11, 3 of 6 from the foul line, had 1 rebound and 1 turnover. He finished with 9 points. And Dallas Rufus was 3 of 9, hit his only 3-pointer attempt. Was 2-2 from the foul line, had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal to go along with 3 turnovers. He finished with 9 points as well. For Vincennes, like I mentioned, Coach Franklin got ejected. What is even bigger about that ejection is the fact that he would not be able to coach in the Saturday game against Olney Central. But his players responded as Demarion Yates was 9 of 16 from the field, 6 of 10 from behind the arc. I had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal, 1 turnover. He finished with a game-high 24 points. LeBron Thomas was okay. He was 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 3 from behind the arc. Had 5 of his 7 free throw attempts go through the net. Had 5 rebounds to go along with 2 assists and 1 steal, finishing with 12. Although Ryan Oliver was not close to getting in double figures, he did lead the team in rebounds with 10. Had 7 assists to go along with 3 steals. He finished with 5 points off of a 2-for-8 shooting night. The King twins were both in double figures. Chris was 3 of 9 from the field, 4 of 4 from the foul line. Had 7 rebounds total with 3 assists to go along with 2 steals, 2 turnovers. He finished with 10. His brother Kent was lining it up from behind the arc. He was 3 of 6 from there. 4 of 7 overall from the field. Had 4 rebounds to go along with 5 assists, 2 steals, and only 1 turnover. He finished with 11 points. Victor Lato was 5 of 11 from the field. Had 1 made 3-pointer. 5 rebounds to go along with 1 assist and 1 block shot, finishing with, like I said, 11 points. Once again, the big thing here is that Vincennes would be without their main skipper, Coach Franklin. Due to NJCAA rules, once you get ejected, you are not able to come back and coach the next ballgame. It is the only league in college basketball where this is a rule. And the NJCAA is proud that they are the only league that this is a rule for. That's why last week when I said I didn't know if the Lakeland player was going to play, because I knew of this rule for the coaches, I didn't know how it meant for the players. So again, SWIC falls to Vincennes 88-57, and again, this one was a shocker. I expected a much tighter game. The Trailblazers came out and they played mad, but they used that anger. This was my game of the middle of the week. Logan against Olney. Logan coming off of a big overtime win against number 4 Vincennes, and Olney Central holding serve and protecting that number 1 seed for the moment. In the dungeon, Olney was able to protect it, winning 78-75. As a team, John A. shot 29 of 64 from the field compared to Olney Central's 25 of 67. From behind the arc, Logan lit it up. They were 10 of 28 from 3 compared to Olney Central's 4 of 21. That's a dismal 19% for the Blue Knights. Free throw shooting-wise is where Olney Central made up for the not being able to hit threes, as they shot 33 free throws, winning and netting 24 of them compared to Logan's 7 for 12 from the foul stripe. The rebounding battle, Logan barely edges out Olney here, 41-40, and Olney Central dominated the turnover battle, only committing 9 turnovers and forcing Logan to 23 turnovers. Individual-wise, the Volunteers were led by Julian Norris, who had 25 points off of a 10 for 19 shooting night. He hit 3 threes out of 7 attempts, 2 of 4 from the stripe, had 3 rebounds and 3 assists to go along with 4 turnovers. Jordan Logan was 4 of 8 from the field, 1 of 4 from behind the arc, had 4 defensive rebounds, 7 rebounds overall, had 3 assists, 1 block, and 2 turnovers. He finished with 12 points. Elliot Londas finally able to get back into the double-digit scoring column, and he had a double-double as well. He was 5 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 2 from behind the arc, had 9 defensive rebounds, 11 rebounds overall, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 5 block shots. But he did foul out into the ballgame. Logan only had 14 points off the bench, as Olney Central was led by Demarion Walkup, who was 8 of 16 from the field, 3 of 7 from behind the arc, 8 of 11 from the foul stripe, had 7 rebounds, 4 steals to go along with 1 assist, 1 block shot, and 1 turnover. Like I said, he finished with 27. As JT Thomas finished with 17, 7 of 13 from the field, had 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 block shots, and 3 turnovers. And Jacoby Thompson was 3 of 8 from the field, 9 of 10 from the foul line, had 7 rebounds to go along with 1 assist, 2 steals, and 1 block shot. He finished with 15 points. And what's really weird is that Olney Central only has 7 guys on their roster at the moment, and both players scored. Delshawn Sims was 2 of 8 from the field, having 5 points. And Jackson Twombly was 1 of 3 from the field, having 2. So Logan wins the bench battle, but Olney doesn't really have much of a bench to speak for. Olney Central able to pick up the win again, 78-75. At the half, they led by 5 at 43-39, and again, just able to stretch it or lose a little bit of ground there, winning only by 3, but holding serve as at the time first place in the district. And the Warriors of Rend Lake were looking for their first crack victory of the season. They got really close. They led by 9 at the half against Shawnee, but the Saints were able to put together a big second half, winning the game 68-64. As a team, the traveling Warriors were 43.8% from the floor compared to Shawnee's 41.3%. Shawnee only made 1 3-point attempt compared to Rend Lake's 9 3-point makes. So Rend Lake was 9 of 18. Shawnee was 1 of 18. That's for a 5.6 average if you're doing the math. Free throw wise, Rend Lake was 13 of 18 from the stripe compared to Shawnee's 15 of 24. Shawnee wins the rebounding battle 31-30. But really, once again, they dominated the turnover battle, winning this one committing 7 turnovers and forcing Rend Lake into 21. For this ballgame, it was Justin King again leading the way for the Warriors. He did have a little bit of help by Brady Moore. We'll get to him in a second. Starter-wise, he was the only one in double figures. He was 5 of 11. King was 5 of 11 from the field, 3 of 4 from the stripe, hitting 1 3, having 9 rebounds overall, 8 of them being defensive, 2 assists to go along with 1 steal, finishing with 14 points. Dre Scott was another starter that was close to getting in double figures. He was 2 of 6 from the field, 5 of 6 from the foul line, having 3 rebounds, finishing with 9. Keith Robinson was 2 of 6 from the field, finishing with 8 points. He hit 2 threes, however, to go along with 2 free throws, had 4 rebounds and 2 assists. Reese Johnson was close to getting in double figures, 3 of 9 from the field, 2 of 5 of them being from behind the arc, having 3 assists to go along with 1 rebound and 4 personal fouls. He finished with 8 points. Brady Moore was the big one off the bench, scoring in double figures. He was 4 of 5 from the field, 1 of 1 from behind the arc, finishing with 10 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 block shots, 4 turnovers, again finishing with 10. And again, for Rend Lake, this game was extremely close. They led by 9. They just weren't able to get over the hump, mainly in part to Johnny Anderson, who was 8 of 16 from the field for Shawnee, 5 of 7 from the foul line, having 6 rebounds, finishing with 21 points. And he had really good help with Trayvon Thomas going 7 of 14 from the field, 3 of 6 from the foul line, having 6 rebounds, 4 assists to go along with 2 steals. He finished with 4 fouls, finishing with 17 points. Ladricus Pittman was in double figures. He fouled out of this ball game. He finished with 13 points off of a 5 of 11 shooting night, grabbing 6 rebounds and dishing out 1 assist to go along with 2 steals. And that most of their scoring came from those starting 5, as Miles Lemon was close to getting in double figures. He finished with 9 points, 4 of 7 from the field, led the team in rebounds with 8, had 3 fouls, like I said, with 9 points. After those 4, nobody else really scored more than 2 field goals. It was a close game, and for the Saints, a scary game. Again, they had to mount a big comeback after being down 9 at half. They were able to do so and pick up a crack win, as Rend Lake is still searching for their first of those. And again, for Coach Sparks, they had a big contest against SWIC. So let's go ahead and jump into that ball game. The game between Shawnee and Southwestern Illinois came down to the wire, and it actually took overtime, as Shawnee was able to pull out an 84-83 win in Belleville over Southwestern Illinois. And both teams put up a lot of shots. SWIC was 31 of 70 from the field compared to Shawnee's 29 of 65. So both teams shot about 44% from the field overall. From behind the arc, the Saints were 6 of 18 compared to the Blue Storms' 6 of 21. Free throw-wise, both of them got to the foul stripe plenty of times. Shawnee was 20 of 25 compared to SWIC's 15 of 21. And again, in the 2 crucial battles besides scoring that I look at, the rebounding and turnover battle, SWIC wins the rebounding battle 41-36, but loses the turnover battle 23-16. What does this really mean, though, in the scoring column? Well, for Shawnee, they were led by Ladricus Pittman, who was 5 of 15 from the field, 3 of 7 from behind the arc, and 6 of 6 from the foul line, grabbing 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals, finishing with 19 points. Miles Lemon and Johnny Anderson added 16 each, with Lemon going 6 of 8 from the field, grabbing 7 rebounds, having 1 block shot and 2 turnovers, while Anderson was 5 of 12 from the field, 6 of 7 from the foul line, having 12 rebounds to go along with 2 assists and 4 turnovers, but getting a block shot. The bench for SWIC, Keshawn Washington was 4 of 9 from the field. The bench for Shawnee was Keshawn Washington, 4 of 9 from the field, 2 of 7 from behind the arc, grabbing 4 assists and 4 steals, finishing with 10 points. For SWIC, they were led by Saxon Hopker, who was 9 of 19 from the field, 3 of 5 from behind the arc, grabbing 15 rebounds overall, 11 of them being defensive, having 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 block shots, finishing with 23 points. He wasn't the only Blue Storm in double figure, however, as Jacoby Huddleston finished with 12, along with Nazum Meckham had 12 as well. Huddleston was 5 of 10 from the field, 2 of 3 from the foul line, having 4 offensive rebounds, 5 defensive rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 4 block shots for the Blue Storm. Meckham was 4 of 6 from the field, 4 of 5 from the foul line, finishing with his 12, grabbing 2 offensive rebounds, having 4 steals and 1 block shot. And really, even though Saxon Hopker led the starters in double figures, it was Nazir Leonard who was 8 of 18 from the field, 6 of 9 from the foul line, 2 of 7 from the three-point land, grabbing 7 rebounds, dishing out 1 assist, having 2 steals, finishing with a game-high 24 points. Dallas Rufus, another starter in double figures, was 5 of 10 from the field, 1 of 3 from behind the arc, had 5 assists to go along with 2 rebounds, and again finishing with 11 points. So this game, like I said, came down to the wire. SWIC was able to double their first half output. In the first half, they scored 25 points. Second half, they scored 50, mounting a big comeback as they were down by 11 at the half to force it into overtime. And in overtime, unable to get the win, unfortunately. And fortunately for Coach Sparks and SWIC, as these teams are starting to battle for the 7th spot and not be that 8th team and having to play the play-in game against Lincoln Trail. And speaking of the Statesmen, let's go ahead and jump into their Saturday game against Rend Lake. And they were able to pick up their second conference win, beating the Warriors 62-61 after trailing by 15 points at the half. Lincoln Trail shot 23 of 53 from the field, good for 43.4%. They were 4 of 17 from behind the arc, 12 of 17 from the foul line. They grabbed 36 rebounds, 7 assists, and 17 turnovers. I don't have any stats for Rend Lake, unfortunately, but I do have some individual stats for the Statesmen. They were led by Ollie Alford, who was 7 of 13 from the field, finishing with 17 points overall, grabbing 6 rebounds to go along with 3 assists and 4 steals. Caden Hunlocker was the second leading scorer. He finished with 15 points, 5 of 11 from the field, 2 of 5 from behind the arc, 3 of 5 from the foul line. Had 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 steals to go along with 2 block shots. He really battled foul trouble as he finished with 4 fouls. As Gabe Amorgi fouled out in this ballgame, he finished with 7 points, was 2 of 3 from the field, 3 of 4 from the foul line. No other player for the Statesmen were in double figures. However, Jamaris McCray was close off the bench with 6 points. He was 2 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from the foul line, grabbing 6 rebounds and having 1 assist to go along with 1 block shot. Devin Bell was off the bench. He finished with 5 points, 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 5 from behind the arc, had 1 assist, 1 block shot, and 1 foul. He finished with 5 points. So again, Lincoln Trail able to pick up a much-needed win against the Warriors of Rend Lake. It had to be in comeback fashion, but they were able to pick up the win, their second win in the GRAC. Unfortunately, this doesn't help them come district time. And I mentioned that Lakeland was battling not to be in that 8th place spot. Well, to do that, you have to win. And you had the defending national champs go into your house, but Lakeland was able to pull out the upset, winning 86-79 in overtime. And the Lakers shot 25 of 68% from the field compared to Logan's 29 of 69. Stat-wise, that's 42% for the Vols compared to 36.8% for the Lakers. Logan jacked up 37 three-point attempts, making 9 of them. Lakeland was 3 of 10 from behind the arc. Again, for Logan, that's 24.3%. For Lakeland, that is 30%. Free throw-wise, this is where the Lakers really outshone the Vols, as they were 33 of 42 compared to Logan's 12 of 17. Rebounding battle. Again, one of the key ones I look at. And the Lakers dominated this one, winning 50-36 in the rebounding battle. And they win the turnover battle 17-16. But that doesn't necessarily mean when you win the game, but it does get you closer. It all comes down to individual scoring. And for the Lakers, they were led by Jordan Logan, who was 7 of 14 from the field, 4 of 4 from the stripe, having 10 rebounds to go along with 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block shot. He also had 4 turnovers, finishing with 18 points. All Vol starters were in double figures, with Julian Norris having 15 points off of a 5 of 13 shooting performance, 2 of 7 from behind the arc, 3 of 4 from the foul line. Only grabbing 2 rebounds to go along with 3 assists. He did foul out into this ballgame. He had 4 turnovers. Another player who fouled out but got into double figures was R.J. Walker. He was 4 of 10 from the field, 1 of 5 from behind the arc, 3 of 3 from the foul line, however, grabbing 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals to go along with 2 turnovers. Elliot Londas was the second leading scorer for the Vols. As starter, he was 6 of 9 from the field. He netted 2 threes off of 3 attempts. Was 2 of 6 from the foul line, however, grabbed 12 rebounds, had 8 block shots, 2 steals, and 1 assist. He also fouled out into this ball game. He finished with 16 points. Logan didn't get any bench help whatsoever, as Jalen Fairman and Alfred Worrell each had 2 points. The final Vol in double figures was Caden Hawkins. He was 5 of 13. He lived predominantly behind the arc. He was 4 of 12 from there. Had 4 rebounds, 5 assists to go along with a steal and 2 turnovers. He was one of only 2 players not to foul out of the starting 5. He had 2 fouls, finished with 14 points. Lakeland, on the other hand, was led by Tyler Chapman. He was 8 of 20 from the field. Ouch. 1 of 2 from behind the arc. 8 of 9 from the foul line, however, so he redeems himself on the foul line from his poor shooting performance. Grabbed 5 rebounds to go along with 3 assists, 2 steals. Had 3 fouls, finishing with 25. Johnny Jones was the only other Laker in double figures as a starter. He was 3 of 7 from the field, 4 of 5 from the foul line, and grabbed 1 rebound to go along with 1 turnover. He finished with 11 points. And really, no other starter for the Lakers were close to double figures, as Halalani was the closest with 5 points. He was 1 of 7 from the field, 3 of 6 from the foul line. He did lead the Lakers in rebounds, however, with 11, and he had 6 block shots to go along with 2 turnovers. He finished with 5 points. But the big person here was Sean Dekonovich. He was 9 of 14 from the field, 13 of 14 from the foul line, had 14 rebounds to go along with 2 assists and 1 steal. And 5 turnovers. He had 2 personal fouls. He finished with a whopping 32 points. Bryson Bond was off the bench for the Lakers. He finished with 6 points, 2 of 9 shooting, 2 of 4 from the foul line, and grabbing 5 rebounds as well. So you insert Dekonovich back into your lineup, not starting, but coming off the bench, and he provided that spark that you needed. Logan led this game at the half, 34-31. Lakeland, of course, ties it in overtime to send it to overtime. The scoring in the second half was Logan 37, Lakeland 40. In overtime, it was 15-8 in favor of the Lakers, as they were able to really capitalize off of 3 different Logan players fouling out into this ball game. So again, Lakeland avoids the battle for the 8th seed for now, but it's going to get tighter as we only have 3 games remaining. Another afternoon game on Saturday pitted the Warriors of Wabash Valley against the Blue Devils of Kaskaskia in Centralia. When this game was in Mount Carmel, Wabash Valley's home, this game went into overtime. Coach Hancock and the Blue Devils wanted no part of that, as they hold home court, winning this game 98-84. As a team, the Blue Devils shot 55% from the field, 33 of 60, compared to Wabash Valley's 45.6%, 31 of 68. Now here's where this gets a little bit weird. Both teams shot 42.9% from behind the arc. Kaskaskia was 6 of 14 compared to Wabash Valley's 9 of 21. Both teams shot 72.2% from the foul line. Kaskaskia was 26 of 36 compared to Wabash Valley's 13 of 18. Yes, Kaskaskia doubled them up on free throw attempts and makes. Rebounding battle, Kaskaskia dominated this one, winning 41-26, and winning the turnover battle 14-12. What does this really all mean, though? Kaskaskia was led by Will Vassar, who was 9 of 15 from the field, 4 of 5 from behind the arc, and had 5 free throws made out of 6 attempts. He also led the Blue Devils in rebounding with 11, had 1 steal, finished with 27 points. Isaiah Tolbert was 5 of 10 from the field, 7 of 11 from the foul line, grabbing 6 rebounds to go along with 9 assists and 5 steals. While only committing 3 turnovers himself, he finished with 19 points. Caleb Jenkins was 6 of 12 from the field, 3 of 4 from the foul line, grabbing 9 rebounds and having a block shot to go along with 3 turnovers. He finished with 15. And the last player in double figures for Kaskaskia was Eric Price, who was 5 of 7 from the field, 3 of 4 from the foul line, had 1 rebound to go along with 2 personal fouls. He finished with 13 points. Off the bench, they were led by Lionel Hodges, who was 3 of 5 from the field, 4 of 7 from the foul line, had 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 block shots to go along with 3 turnovers. He finished with 10 points. For the Warriors, they were led by Andron Sprinkles, who was 11 of 17 from the field, 4 of 6 from behind the arc, so he lit it up there. Had 4 rebounds, 3 steals to go along with 3 turnovers. He finished with 26 points, leading all Warrior scorers. Brandon Razor-Moore and Kaleem Taylor finished with 10 points apiece. Kaleem was 3 of 5 from the field, 4 of 5 from the foul line, to go along with 2 rebounds and 2 assists with a block shot, while Brandon was 3 of 10 from the field, 1 of 3 from behind the arc, 3 of 4 from the foul line, 4 rebounds, 4 steals, 1 turnover for 10 points. And Mujid Burton, who was the second leading scorer for the starters of Wabash Valley, he was 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from behind the arc, had 2 rebounds and to go along with a block shot. He finished with 12 points. Lucas Henderson was close to getting in double figures for Wabash. He was 3 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from behind the arc, grabbing 3 rebounds and 2 assists to go along with 5 turnovers. He finished with 9 points. And with this loss, Wabash Valley has been knocked out of the race of getting one of the top 2 seeds. The best they can finish is in 3rd place, while Kaskaskia continues to battle with Lakeland, with SWIC, and with Shawnee for not being that 8th seed and having to play in the playing game against Lincoln Trail. Vincennes versus Olney Central is the battle of 1st place, and Vincennes, without their head coach Todd Franklin, Coach Brian Davis stepped up and led the Blazers to victory, winning over the Blue Knights 87-79 in the PE complex. Vincennes shot 25 of 57 from the field compared to Olney Central's 28 of 72. Olney Central was 9 of 31 from behind the arc compared to Vincennes' 3 for 11. The free throw line is where the Trailblazers lived, as they shot 45 free throw attempts, making 34 of them compared to Olney Central's 14 of 17 from the stripe. In the rebounding battle, Vincennes wins this one by 12, 45-33, but they lose the turnover battle, committing 14 turnovers compared to Olney Central's 10. What this really means, though, in the individual scoring, as Olney, again, with only 8 players, were led by Demarion Walkup, who was 7 of 17 from the field, 3 of 10 from behind the arcs, 9 of 10 from the foul line, grabbed 1 rebound, and had 2 turnovers, finishing with 26 points. Jacoby Thompson was 9 of 18 from the field, 3 of 6 from behind the arc, 3 of 4 from the foul line, having 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, a blocked shot to go along with 2 turnovers. He finished with 24 points. Darian Lewis was the 3rd Blue Knight in double figure with 15, he was 6 of 14 from the field, 3 of 7 from behind the arc. Had 4 assists to go along with a rebound and a steal and 2 turnovers. He finished with 15 points. Again, Olney Central only having 3 players to come off the bench, and they only had 4 points off the bench as Jackson Twombly and Javon Jones each had 2 points. Twombly was 1 of 2. Jones was 1 for 4. Both players, however, grabbed significant rebounds, with Twombly grabbing 4 and Jones grabbing 6 for the Trailblazers. It once again was the LeBron Thomas show, as he was 8 of 12 from the field, 2 of 3 from behind the arc, 13 of 16 from the foul line, had 10 rebounds, all of them being defensive, to go along with 4 assists, 3 steals, but did have 6 turnovers. He also got a block in there. He finished with a game-high 31 points overall. Ryan Oliver was the only other Blazer starter in double figures. He was 2 of 6 from the field, 6 of 7 from the foul line, had 11 rebounds, 7 of them being defensive, 4 offensive, to go along with 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 turnover. He had 10 points. But again, Michael Osei-Bonsu, he was in foul trouble all game. He finished with 4 fouls and 4 points. Creek Dixon, 5 points. Off of a 2 of 7 shooting performance. The only other starter that was close was Demarion Yates, who was 2 of 6 from the field, 3 of 4 from the foul line, grabbing 3 rebounds, having an assist to go along with 2 turnovers and a blocked shot. He finished with 7 points. Off the bench, though, is where the Blazers lived, and really it was Kent King providing that spark. He was 5 of 10 from the field, 1 of 4 from behind the arc, and 4 of 6 from the foul line, grabbing 5 rebounds and 1 block shot, finishing with 15 points. However, Victor Lato was close to getting in double figures with 9 points. He was 2 of 5 from the field, 5 of 6 from the foul line, and grabbing 3 rebounds, also having 2 block shots. And I mentioned one King twin. Let's mention the other, Chris. He was 3 of 6 from the field for 6 points. He had 4 assists, however, and 1 rebound and 1 steal to go along with 3 turnovers for 6 points. Again, Vincennes really battled in this ballgame. Again, no head coach. Your head assistant coach led you to victory for the Blazers. And again, when I thought they were starting to fade after their loss against Logan and the, I'll call it, poor performance against Shawnee and Lakeland, I thought this team was fading. They stepped it up and reclaim the top overall spot in the district for now, leading Olney Central by 1/2 game. And what's really keen about this is, like I mentioned, Wabash Valley, with their loss, they can be no higher than the 3 seed, so it's going to be Vincennes only 1-2. It is just a matter of time before we find out how that's going to end up. Again, 3 games left, half game separating both of these teams. It's going to be interesting for the next 3 ball games. I mentioned the battle of first places heating up between Vincennes and Olney, and I mentioned that both those teams are going to be 1-2. We know Lincoln Trail is going to be number 9, unfortunately. It's everything in between that is going to be interesting, as Wabash Valley and Logan are separated by half a game. Lakeland, Shawnee, SWIC, and Kaskaskia are separated by half a game. But let's go ahead and jump into this district standings. Again, Vincennes is at the top at 11-2. 24-3 overall. Olney Central is 11-3, 20-6 overall. Wabash Valley is 7-6 in district play, 14-8 overall. Logan is 7-7 in district play, 13-14 overall. Lakeland 6-7 in district play, 17-10 overall. Shawnee 6-7 in district play, 16-10 overall. SWIC 6-7 in district play, 15-12 overall. Kaskaskia 6-8 in district play, 18-8 overall. And finally, Lincoln Trail finishing out district at 0-13, 7-19 overall. So, unfortunately for the Statesmen, they are definitely playing in this single play-in game. I think they've known that for a while. It's just going to be a battle of who they're playing. And again, all these teams are separated by a half game or 2 games. 2 games separates Wabash Valley, the 3 seed, from Kaskaskia, the 8 seed. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the last week plus is going to factor in between those teams. Again, we know who's going to be one. We know the top 2 teams are Olney and Vincennes. We know the last seed is Lincoln Trail. Vincennes, Olney are going to battle out for first place. Everyone else in between, it's up in the air. So it's getting close to March, and this is all what's great about college basketball. We are down to the last full week of district games for everybody. Let's go ahead and jump into the first slate of games, which is going to be played on Wednesday, February 28th. And let's start with Olney Central at Rend Lake. Unfortunately for the Warriors, they got close to pulling out their first GRAC win. I don't think this is going to happen against Olney Central, especially after Olney is coming off of a tough loss to the Trailblazers on Saturday. I think they're going to come in. Coach Glash is going to have this team right, and they are going to just control the tempo, control what they want to do against Rend Lake, and pull out a huge victory. Again, this isn't a district game, but this gets everybody else even, as Olney Central has played 14 district games and has 3 games remaining on their schedule. So again, I just see Olney Central beating Rend Lake by 10 points plus in this ball game. It is at Ina, and again, I personally feel like that the games that everybody else plays against Rend Lake is huge, as they get a game of shooting on those rims and get used to it. And with Olney Central playing Rend Lake so close to that tournament in Ina, I think that pulls a bigger advantage for the Blue Knights. The next game on Wednesday's docket is a big one, as these 2 teams are separated by a game, and that's Wabash Valley at Southwestern Illinois College. Wabash Valley comes into this game after a down week, losing both to Lakeland and Kaskaskia. They were hoping to pull out a win in either one of those 2 or sweeping the week. They do neither. Instead, they get swept. And they're going up against a SWIC team that is finding themselves here in the last month or so. Coach Harrington has this team ready to go, and it's going to be a big one. Again, this determined right now Wabash Valley is in 3rd place in the district, and SWIC is in 7th place. And I mentioned these teams are separated by a single game, so big time seeding implications here between the Warriors and the Blue Storm. What does this mean? I think that Wabash Valley is going to stay in 3rd place with a win against the Blue Storm. But again, I wouldn't be surprised, as Coach Harrington likes to slow down the game when they're at home and pull out a victory, because his team's just been really gritty and they've been able to find themselves the last month, the Vincennes game notwithstanding. And the 3rd game on Wednesday I'm really looking forward to because of seeding implications is going to be Kaskaskia at John A. Logan. And these 2 teams, again, John A. comes in at 7-7, Kaskaskia 6-8, so they're separated by a game. It all comes down to which Logan team is going to show up. They've had to battle in the last week, especially against Vincennes. That game went into overtime. Their game against Lakeland went into overtime. It's just going, and they battled Olney Central to the buzzer. How much gas does the Volunteers have left in their tank? That is going to be the biggest question. And with it being at the home floor, I think they're going to have just enough, as they are going to edge out Kaskaskia. I see this being a close game. However, like I said, I think the Vols just have a little something extra in the tank as they get ready for playoff basketball. And for Kaskaskia, they're going to battle all game long. Coach Hancock teams always do. And again, they do not want to be that 8th seed, so they expect them to come out firing on all cylinders. I just don't think it's going to be enough for them in this game, unfortunately, for the Blue Devils. I have Logan win this game by 5. In the 4th game of the Wednesday slate is my middle game of the week to watch. It is Lakeland at Shawnee. Both teams coming off of a 2-0 week last week. The Lakers, I would say, a more impressive 2-0 week than the Saints, although that game in overtime against Southwestern was something to behold for the Shawnee Saints. I think that the Lakers are going to be on such an emotional high that they might not come off the bus against Shawnee, and I think that the Saints will be able to protect home floor. But again, I said that against Wabash Valley last week for the Lakers, and they came out and shot the daylights out of the Spencer Sports Arena. And so I won't be surprised if Lakeland shoots the ball. But again, I just see that Shawnee is going to battle for home floor. And again, since both these teams are 6 and 7 overall in district standings, obvious seeding at play here, and I just see the Saints pulling out a victory just because they're at home. Again, I think Lakeland can win this game, but I'm going to give it to the Saints. And the final game of the Wednesday slate pits Vincennes against Lincoln Trail in Robinson. For the Blazers, this is a trap game because you have Wabash Valley on Saturday, and I'll get to that game in a minute. You cannot overlook the Statesmen in this game. If you do, you will lose this ball game. I'm sure Coach Franklin has told these guys tonight in practice. He'll tell them tomorrow in practice. He'll tell them Wednesday during their shoot-around. He'll tell them Wednesday as they're loading on the bus. And he'll tell them Wednesday when they get off the bus. This is a trap game, fellas. Do not let your guard down. I don't think they will, but again, Lincoln Trail has played better in the last month and a half than their record shows. It's always tough to win in the district, and especially when you're looking past this game. If you look past this game to Saturday, you will get beat. With that all being said, I still think that Kane Huntlocker is going to have the game out of his mind, and he's going to have to get help. Both players would have to score 20 plus in order for Lincoln Trail to win. Is it doable? Yes. Is it also doable that they don't, or is it also possible that they don't? Also, yes. With all that being said, I do give Vincennes the edge here, but again, if Vincennes falls, it'll be because they beat themselves, on top of Huntlocker and one other player playing absolutely out of their minds. Let's go ahead and jump into the Saturday slated games, and the first one on the docket is going to be SWIC against Olney Central in Olney. I see Olney winning this ball game. I think the fact that they're still going to be a little bit mad about the Vincennes matchup, and they're not going to be able to take all their anger out on Rend Lake. SWIC, unfortunately, they got a tough week facing Wabash Valley and then Olney. I just see Olney winning this ball game by maybe 10 points. Coach Harrington is going to have his team ready to play, however, but the Dungeon is a tough place to play, especially when it's rocking and when Olney is good. And the games I've seen the last week and a half, that Dungeon's rocking and Olney is really good. At the moment, I see Olney winning this ball game by maybe 10 points, but definitely is not going to be the blowout that for SWIC that it was when they traveled to Vincennes. Let's get this game out of the way. Rend Lake at Kaskaskia. Unfortunately for the Warriors, I don't see a way that you beat the Blue Devils on their home floor. I think Kaskaskia is just going to be ready to play. Now, this is a trap game for the Blue Devils as it's not a district game. This affects no seeding in the tournament for them. So trap game there. But again, I see Coach Hancock having his team ready to play as they wrap up GRAC play here against Rend Lake. The Warriors of Rend Lake 6-21 overall, 0-14 in GRAC play, while Kaskaskia is 7-7 in GRAC play. Again, 18-8 overall. So again, I just see Kaskaskia winning this game. Again, Rend Lake can, but Justin King is going to have a game of his life. Plus, he's going to need to have help. I think Kaskaskia knows this, and they're going to scheme around it for Saturday. And again, I see Kaskaskia winning this by 10 points. Excuse me. And that brings up our third game on Saturday. And for the John A. Logan Volunteers, your final game of the season against the Shawnee Saints. Yes, I said for Logan, this is the final game of their season. They do not play on Tuesday, where every other district team plays on Tuesday. So Logan is going to go all out against the Saints, and I think that's why they're going to win this ball game. They're really good at home. I know that's cliche because every team's really good at home, but Logan feeds off that energy. It's sophomore night for them, so they are going to be extra motivated to show their sophomores out with a win and then rest up for Ina. And again, I think Logan's going to do that. They had no problems beating Shawnee in Olney. They won that game by 13 points. I think that it might be a repeat performance here for the Saints. Nothing against them. I think they're going to battle really, really hard. I think it's going to be close at half, but I think that it's just too much Logan at the wrong time for Shawnee. And the fourth game on Saturday's docket pits Lincoln Trail against Lakeland, and I think this game is going to be extremely interesting for both teams because, yes, playoff implications for the Lakers, but when this game was in Robinson, this was a 6-point ball game where the Trail lost 91-85. So, and again, Lincoln Trail's playing a lot better basketball than they were back in January. So I see this being a close game. With that being said, I still think that the motivation and the skill lean more towards Lakeland. So I will pick the Lakers to win this ball game. But again, it wouldn't surprise me if this game goes into overtime, or even if Lincoln Trail can finally get in the win column against the Lakers. They only have the Lakers and Shawnee left on their remaining schedule. And again, I think Lincoln Trail can win this ball game, but they're going to have a game like they had when they faced Rend Lake, with Caden Huntwalker being one of the top scorers, if not the top, and having two more guys be a leading scorer as well. And I don't mean, and I said this a week ago, Caden's going to have to score like 18, the other guy's 16. It can't be Caden with 18 and the other guy with 10. If Lincoln Trail wins this ball game, it's going to be because of that. I think it's possible, but I don't think it's likely. I think the Lakers are going to win this ball game by 5. And the final game on Saturday's slate is Vincennes at Wabash Valley in the Spencer Sports Arena. This game tips off at 7 o'clock, while the other games tip off in the afternoon. So we'll have all of the results going into this ball game. And this is going to be a close ball game, I think. I know the game against Wabash Valley earlier in the year was a 18-point blowout for the Blazers. But again, Brandon Razor-Moore plays better at home than he does on the road. And so I think that that's going to help Wabash Valley in this ball game. Is that going to put them over the top? I don't think so. I still think Vincennes wins this game and holds on to the number 1 seed. But it's going to be a closer game than 18 points. I'll say this one's within 10. But again, I just feel like Vincennes has all the momentum heading into the tournament. they break into the top 5 once again, and I think that that's going to be a little bit more motivating for these players. Again, they have Wabash Valley, and then Tuesday for Vincennes, they face Kaskaskia, while Wabash Valley on Tuesday faces Olney Central. So Wabash Valley again having a tough week of it. They have SWIC and Vincennes. Vincennes has a trap game in Lincoln Trail, and then against Wabash Valley. Again, I think this is going to be within 10 points, but the Blazers pull out the victory. And that's going to do it for this week's episode, everybody. Again, we have 2 different races going on in the district at the same time. The battle for the top seed between Vincennes and Olney Central, that is separated by a half a game. And the battle for the 3 seed for Wabash Valley, Logan, SWIC, Shawnee, Lakeland, and Kaskaskia are all within 2 games of each other. So it is going to be a fantastic last full week of district play, and it's going to be an interesting week of district play all the way around. And with that all being said, I will see you all in the next episode.